So I've enhanced the Astro Color Mixer script beyond what the PixInsight script is able to do right now. So on the Siril version or port of the script that I made, now we're able to make custom color masks as well as apply curves behind those color masks. And this is a massive improvement when it comes to processing narrowband images, whether they come from one-shot color with H alpha oxygen 3 filters, or whether they're a multi-band like sulfur, hydrogen, oxygen. And I'm going to demonstrate how it can be used. And I think it actually makes processing of those colors in Siril for now easier than in PixInsight. So let me guide you through how to use that. Oh, and first introduction, if you're not familiar with the script, it's a script written for PixInsight by Patrick Cosgrove, and then I ported it to Siril, and now I'm making improvements within Siril, within the version of that script for Siril that are not in the initial script. So it's kind of like branching out a little bit, but I'm in communication with Pat, so he knows what I'm doing. But yeah, let me show you exactly how it works on an example narrowband picture. Okay, so here we have my example picture. So this picture, I've already removed the stars to be able to deal with it without the stars, although the Astro Color Mixer script does take into account stars if needed. And I've also done the narrowband normalization via the narrowband normalization script that I've also ported to Siril from PixInsight. So I do have a video on that topic. I'll put the link up above and down in the description. But yeah, this is already done. We have a stretched narrowband image from a one-shot color sensor using a hydrogen oxygen dual band filter. So this is the result that we have right now. Obviously the colors are far from what we want. I want to have punchier blues there. I want these yellows to be redder and have more of a gradation, etc. How would you do that in Siril? Well, I'm going to show you. It's going to be very similar than PixInsight, but probably actually a bit more streamlined and easy than in PixInsight. So let's get started. So I'm going to go to scripts, Python, and get scripts. And you want to make sure that you have the Astro Color Mixer script there selected. Then you just open it from script, Python scripts, and processing Astro Color Mixer here. And when you open it, this is what you should get. So I've already shown the script in a previous video, so I won't expand too much. I'll put the link up above and also down in the description. But basically what's been added is that up to now you had different ranges for red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, etc. So you could make saturation, hue, or brightness effectively changes at the color level that you selected on your image. And what's changed is that I made the masks a bit more editable, like the mask soften in particular is much stronger than before as a range. I'll show you what that looks like. And then also I've added a new custom mask where you can select a range of colors as you wish. So for instance, if I want to select all of the colors there around the nebula, I would want maybe to have my starting hue around here. I want to make sure I select the red, right? So you can see the preview there, and my ending hue to be all the way maybe here. If there's any green, I want to select it. And then I want to look at the mask that I'm creating. So I'm going to select my mask here, custom color range, and then I can show the band mask here in the preview and remove the overlay so we can see the white areas are where the mask will take effect. And here it's not taking effect a lot because I have a parameter at the top, which is low saturation protection, where basically I'm saying like, okay, if a region is not very colorful, we're not going to mess with it. And that's a way to avoid increasing saturation or brightness, etc. on your background. But obviously this is not working for me here. So I am going to decrease that to maybe 0, and you can see immediately that has a large impact on the color range that I've chosen. I also want to have maximum mask strength, right? So I have something quite bright in there. And also I want to make sure that I tell the system that my image is starless, right? And remove this checkbox. Now we should be more or less ready. Another thing I can choose from the mask is how the mask is actually built, from chrominance, lightness, or linear. So chrominance is just how much color is where will determine how strong the mask is. And lightness is about brightness, and then linear is just everything is white. And for now, I'm going to do linear. If I did it as it is now, we'd get crazy, weird borders on the changes that I'm making. So I'll make sure to add a softening to the mask. And here it's a big improvement from the previous version. We can really blur the mask a lot. That will help us transition between the areas that we are working on and the rest of the areas. We're also avoiding chrominance noise. So that's why I'm doing that. And now I have my custom mask. And so I can go and play with whatever is behind those white areas. So if I go to the, or maybe to the band mask and show the overlay, the orange regions are what we're going to be modifying with our parameters. So I am going to go to adjust it just to see what I'm doing. And I can start with actually the luminance. And I could just play normally with the luminance. This is the custom color range, right? And I could say, okay, I want more luminance, I want less luminance. This is not working, obviously. I'm going to put that back to 0. And instead, I'm going to click the C button here, which stands for curve. And that opens a curve editor. And that's where the fun stuff begins, because we can do masked curves on Siril like that very easily per color, including from custom color bands. So this is a mix of the PixInsight color mask script and then using curves. So this is a bit more integrated. I'm going to start with green. And what I like to do with green on those areas on HOO images like we have now is to do an S curve like that to adjust really the color of this, and at the same time can take the red curve and pump it up a bit to really have more red. And immediately you can see that we have a large change that I actually quite like, right? So I can validate that. And also I want to have more saturation in there. So in my custom color range, I'm going to increase the saturation. And it's a bit too orange for me, so I'm going to play with the hue, something like that. Maybe go back to my curve here and go to the red. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I like it like that. And also the green back to make sure that we still have some yellow at the extremities. Something like that is pretty nice. I like what I'm seeing here, but you can see immediately we have something closer to what we expect a narrowband palette to be, right? So that's one thing. Now the second thing I want to do is the blue here in the middle. How do I target the blue in the middle? Well, it's going to be the same thing. I could do a custom color range, but the custom color range is already used up by the red here. So there's two things we could do. We could either play on the blue thing here or create a new pass. So right now the base pass will be playing with the red. That's what we have done now. And I can create a new pass, pass number 2, which has its completely separated parameters and masks to play with the blue. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go to my custom mask again, so custom color range mask. And I can set my start and end hues here to really include all of this area here. Right now we have everything we need. I'm again going to go into my band mask and see what's going on. Also make sure I have linear here because I want a very strong mask and I do want to soften everything. So here we have a problem. If I look at my image, this background here has actually a hint of blue there, right? And so whatever changes I make would apply to the center, which is what I want, but also to the background, which is something I don't want. What can we do about that? Well, what we can do is to have a range mask as well. So I'm going to have a look at the range mask, not as an overlay, but just as something where it's white passes the mask. And I'm going to select highlights as a preset. And that mask will tell me which areas I'm actually going to target. I can move the low slider here to have like an area of brightness with the stuff that I want to target. I can soften the mask as we did before. And now we have two masks active at the same time. We have the custom color range mask and we have the luminance mask. And if I look at the combined mask, there we go. We are targeting exactly what we want. We can double check the overlay, and this is exactly the area that we want to target. We no longer have the background. Actually, in PixInsight, I would have a lot of trouble doing that. I would probably need to do some PixelMath between different masks. It would not be fun. But here with this script, in Siril, we're able to just do that. So now that I've selected exactly the region that I want to select, I can play with things. And again, I'm going to look at my adjusted view, and I'm going to go to luminance, select my custom color range, and I can change it as much as I like without bothering the red and yellow that we did earlier, because we are on a separate pass with its own parameters, right? So I can go to my custom color range, select my curves, and let's see, I can play with the blue, and we can see that this actually has an impact. I can play with the red to make sure we don't go into a magenta type of color. I can lower the red, and you can see the impact that it has on the blue. And let's play with the green, see what happens. So we can choose the green to have like a softer, more turquoise type of blue if we want to, right? So here you have the full control to do some hue adjustments really within the curves, but within reason. And we can also go to the luminance and say, like, do I want to, decrease the luminance to make the blue punchier? And there it is. I think that I like that color, so I'm going to validate here. I can go to my saturation and saturate the blue a bit more, like that. So now we have a nice punchy blue here. And I can double check my hue as well, some more, to see if I want to make some changes. I don't think I do, actually. Maybe a little tiny bit like that, right? And now we have everything we need to have these colors in Siril. We've done 2 passes, or we have readied 2 passes. The first pass is for the red and yellow. The second pass is for the blue. And we've made sure to avoid changing the background itself. And so now I can go ahead and apply to Siril. That's going to take a little bit of time. But we see the progress here. I've done some changes since the previous version of the script so that we are doing the processing per tile rather than directly per image. It helps a lot with memory consumption. So if you have a computer with just 8 gigs of RAM, for instance, this can be helpful for you. And you can see it's done the base pass already. Now it's working on the pass number 2 via all of the tiles. And it's taking longer than what I've shown before because we're using curves, we're using advanced masks, we're using a lot of stuff in there. And there we go, we have the result here. Look at those colors. This is the before, this is the after, and this is super streamlined. It just works. I really like what we're getting here. Now I would want to do maybe some general curves, right, if I wanted to keep processing. So I'm going to close the script. Maybe like you can see if I reapplied exactly the same thing, this is what we would get. I don't want to do that. I'm going to close the script, and we could go to the simple curves from Siril itself. So it would be under stretches, curves transformation, and here we have like a proper with histogram type of curve transformation where I could do like some S-curve across the whole image to have some nice contrast if I wanted to. So actually I kind of like that. It's pretty aggressive, but I like how this makes the image punchy. By the way, we are outside of the script, so we're already away from the main topic of the video. I just want to show you how we can keep processing this picture. Also, a little spoiler alert, I have a script that I also want to publish soon, which is the Lighthouse script, which again is a script made by a guy called Neven for PixInsight, and I'm making a port for Siril. And one of the cool things about this one is things like vibrance. It's like Lightroom, but in Siril or PixInsight, and also the clarity. Look at what the clarity does. It really like makes the details really punchy in there. So if I applied the script as is, just as a quick spoiler alert, then we get like something really punchy, really publishable. This is, and just for a reminder, this is what we had before the script, and before, and before. That's what we started with. That's what we end with. Pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. That's my opinion. So there we go. We have some really cool stuff in Siril. Siril is really so much fun. I've been learning Siril. Again, I can't stop plugging this book, and I still need to do a review about it as well as a full tutorial of Siril. But this thing here really got me into it. I'll put the link down in the description. And it's really good. Even if you're not using Siril, you'll learn a lot. So that's really cool. But yeah, that's what I've been cooking, working on. And I've been using, well, some manual coding, but a lot of AI coding with human review based on the AI coding. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of work, a lot of tokens spent. So if you want to support me, you can join my Patreon. The link is down in the description. You can like the video. You can join the channel as a member. It's the join button next to the subscribe button. I also have a buy me a coffee link available in the description if you just want to do a one-time donation. Of course, as usual, leaving a comment helps a lot. Subscribing helps a lot. Watch till the end helps a lot. And if you're planning on buying anything from Agena, High Point Scientific, First Light Optics, Amazon, etc., if you do so after clicking one of the links that I have down in the description, it will help me out at no cost to you. And of course, I want to say to everyone who supports me, to my Patreon members, to my channel members, thank you so much for your support. All of this is possible thanks to you. With that, to everyone, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, whenever you can, to look up at the stars, and I'll see you next time.